We are live. This is the Ring with Arena Australis. My name is Fisher Nahida. This is Dr. Trotter. This is a format where we have a carryover champion every single week, and they pick a meta. A challenger comes in, they take on that challenger in a best-of-5 format, and whoever wins, they are the new King of the Ring. Last week we had Cizzlemethis, who continued his unbeaten run, going 10 battles in a row now, completely undefeated, to become the second-time champion. And Trotter, who are they going to be taking on this week?
Yeah, so they're going to be taking on one of our brothers in arms in Australian content creation, specifically around Pogo and PvP. It's our boy, you'll know him, you'll love him. It's PvPSteve, none other than...
Yeah.
I know, he's as big as it gets, right? To me, like, he's the pinnacle.
Yeah, absolutely. Number one, most followers, subscribers, whatever you want to say, for a content creator in Australia. So yeah, this guy's kind of the biggest profile you'd get in Australian PvP content.
PvP. Unfortunately, he's still got to catch up to 2 dots, but he'll get there. He'll get there for sure.
Yeah, totally.
And today in the meta, we have our Niantic's Cup, right? The Azumarill Cup. So it's just Azu. Just pick 3 Azus and you'll be fine. But yeah, it is a Halloween cup. It's obviously a very focused around Azumarill kind of cup if you've had a look at it. But it does comprise of 5 types, no bans. Now those 5 types are Bug, Dark, Fairy, Ghost, and Psychic. A very interesting sort of combo, this cup. Really has a few Pokemon that sort of stand out on the on the PvPoke rankings. So it'll be interesting to see if these guys go for spice or if they go, nah, I'm gonna play it safe and just stick with some of those top picks. How do you see this one going down, Fish?
I find it so funny that, like, after 6 or so months of GBL being out, Niantic are like, oh hey, let's try a Silpharina meta. And the one they decided on is just so bad. It's just, oh, hey, what do you want to do to make GBL more interesting? I know, let's have a meta that revolves around Azumarill. Because, that'll be fresh, right?
Yeah, I mean, the only way it could be worse is if it revolved around an Umbreon mirror match.
Or 2 Bastiodons.
I don't mind the Bastiodon wall. But
the mirror match though?
Oh man, just stand there. It doesn't bother me for some reason, but an Umbreon mirror match and a Skarmory mirror match bothers me because they've happened in multiple cups. I feel like Bastiodon was only Kingdom Cup, so I'm okay with it.
Alright, so negativity aside, that's all venting done. We are not gonna spout any more hate in this particular platform. We're going to take a look at the teams. By the way, for those who recognize the name PvPSteve, well, of course, he is the biggest thing in PvP in Australia, but there is also the fact that he is our first ever returning battler. Steve came in, now I looked this up and I've totally forgotten. I believe he beat Epic Cactus, who had, he beat 200% Gary, I believe, who then he then lost to Epic Cactus, and that was the first of his sweeps. And that, he went on to sweep 2 in a row, and then Cizzlemethis came in and swept him, and then got another sweep as well. So that was the beginning of a long series of sweeps. So Cizzlemethis has won his last 10 battles in a row, and what happens when you win all 5 battles in a particular set is we give you something that we call a replay. Trotter, explain what a replay is.
Yeah, so a replay is a massive advantage. So essentially, if there's a battle, you're the carryover champ, you've got your replays up your sleeve. If you lose a match, usually in the first couple of battles, so you can't use it to reverse an overall competition loss, but if you're only down 1 or 2 losses, you can reverse that last match. But you can't change your teams. You got to lead the same Pokemon, have the same 3 Pokemon in there. So it has to be, like, if you're thinking strategically, it's got to be that match where you did something wrong to lose that match.
Right.
And how am I going to correct it this time?
Yeah.
That'd be the smart way to use it. Otherwise, you're just being a jerk.
Yeah, you've got to be able to think your way through what just happened and work out if I do this differently, and also account for, they're going to be thinking the same thing. So you've got to try and figure out what they would want to be doing differently too, and try and work that out. So yeah, some very interesting strategic things going on with a replay. These are the teams down below us. Can you spot anything? What are your thoughts on these teams that they picked?
I love Marwile in this format. I really think it's good. And unfortunately for our good friend PvPSteve, he doesn't have the Shadow Marwile. And it actually does a lot for you having that Shadow Marwile there.
This is
so that could be interesting.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt. This all 3 weeks that Cizzlemethis has been on, he's picked that Shadow Marwile.
Ooh.
He likes that Shadow Marwile.
Is this some sort of omen? He's saying, and we've got a 3rd sweep in a row coming in here.
Yeah, Shadow Marwile brings the sweep luck. It did have 2 different moves. The first week it had Fire Fang, second week Ice Fang. Now, in this particular meta, you're thinking Fire Fang's got to be the way to go, right?
Well, you'd think so, but it does have access to that Thunder Fang, doesn't it?
No.
It doesn't.
It does not.
Well, then don't worry.
Never mind.
All the way. Never mind me.
That would be killer.
Only.
That suddenly that becomes a very interesting counter to Azumarill. So basically, what you're looking at is the advantage of an arena format where you're declaring 6 Pokemon and then bringing 3 of those Pokemon into each battle is that you do have a little bit more play around with what you can bring into each individual battle. In GBL, when this is going to be happening, pretty much you can count it. You're either going to see it's going to be 90% like Azumarill, a counter to Azumarill, and maybe a counter to the counters of Azumarill, or occasionally the 10% of people are going to be really nuts and just bring 3 Azumarill counters or something ridiculous like that. Here you can get a little bit more play around. So you basically you need to cover the anti-Azumarill role, and there's fire is another big one that's in this meta. Fire will take out a lot of those anti-Azumarill picks, like your bugs.
Yeah, and really interestingly, Sizzle has gone for something that's kind of become a little bit in vogue there, in that Spooder on the top right, Galvantula. If it's running the lunge discharge moveset, that Umbreon is not so safe anymore.
Well, actually, I'm gonna give a little peek behind the curtain. These battles were filmed.
Off the press.
These battles were filmed on Sunday, all the way back then. So that was actually a couple of days before Lunge was introduced to this Pokemon. So we can eliminate that from the possible moves that this thing's running.
Get it out of there. Right. So that does change things just a little bit. Obviously, Bug Buzz is still going to hit like an absolute truck, but it's going to take a long time to get there. So baits may be more important there with that Galvantula. But you assume it's there to really be scaring that Azu, right?
Yeah, totally. An interesting line that I, discovered when I was... doing a bit of simming myself one time, was running an Azu, Beedrill, Galvantula together, because say you start with your Azumarill, right? You run into a Beedrill, Venusaur, whatever is in the back that might be a counter to that, right? You switch out and bring in, say, Galvantula, and they bring out a Marwile to counter that Galvantula. That Galvantula is obviously going to go down, but then they're locked in. In comes your Azumarill. It does the job that you wanted it to do in the first place, and then you've still got that second Azu counter in Beedrill in the back there for that Azu that they're bringing out in a second. So that it's called like an unbalanced line or an anchor line. There's names for it. It's bringing like 2 Pokemon that have the same role. And putting them both in the back so that when if you lose the lead, you sacrifice one of them and the other one's still there in the back to get the sweep, essentially.
So that's very similar to all of Caleb Peng's lineups that he's throwing out into GBLs. So, but they work, right?
Yeah,
There's a reason they're there. So it's crazy. It could be interesting. I think Sizzle's team's probably got a little bit more synergy, just looking at it at face value. And I can't see Haunter getting much play.
Don't sleep on Haunter. That thing is an interesting core breaker. Like, if you put together the most meta teams in this format, Haunter and Gengar both tend to be at the top of the, like, potential counters list. Or potential threats.
And I'm thinking it's got to be a Sludge Wave Haunter too.
Yeah, Sludge Bomb's probably... Yeah, so would you run Shadow Punch Sludge Bomb or Shadow Ball Sludge Bomb?
I think with the Psychics really not even being utilized at all in this cup, yeah, I'd be running Shadow Punch.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
I'm not going to say anything because Sizzle can run whatever the heck moveset he wants.
Yeah, he's the ring champion.
Exactly.
He can do that.
So Sizzle does what Sizzle wants.
What kind of cores do you see PvC? Oh, by the way, I did promise I'd mention that if Steve had a little more time, he wanted to like Photoshop his face kind of in the corner of the graphic there. But so yeah, just fulfilling that promise for him. But yeah, what kind of cores do you see Steve being able to run? Which Pokemon kind of work well together within those 6?
I actually think Toxie is going to be a really nice key for him on that Shadow Mawile, on the Obstagoon. And I mean, to be honest, it's not going to do too badly without Galvantula with those Mud Bombs either. So I see that being a really key Pokemon. I mean, everything's going to be built around Azu as a counter.
Sure.
I feel. And Mawile, I mean, this could go anywhere. This can go anywhere. I think there's probably a few possibilities on doing... If you can land a sack swap to come back from a lost lead or just make your opponent waste enough energy at some point, you could flip a match.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's going to be very RPS. Unless...
Which is rock, paper, scissors for those who...
Yeah, sorry.
The uninitiated. Yeah, so rock, paper, scissors, obviously, everything hard counters something else.
Unless we get like an Azu mirror match and they stay in, because then the Azu counters are like, do I beat you? Do you beat me? I don't know. We don't know each other, and like then whatever's in the back, like it can become very team comp.
And so, that's where we show our skills as shoutcasters, making those constant mirror matchups interesting.
Yes, hopefully they're not both Hydro Pump Azus. Hopefully someone's bought that. We'll play Rough Azu and see, and then they win that matchup convincingly, but they also have a much harder time of beating the Mawile. So.
I think Play Rough Hydro is the recommended moveset on PvP for this meta.
Oh, really?
I think. I believe so.
Oh, it's changed then, because when I was, a week or two ago when we did our tournament, it was definitely Ice Beam Hydro.
Is that right? Well, I might be very wrong.
But I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Hydro has play. Ice Beam has play. Like that's one of the many broken things about Azumarill is that it just whatever moveset you run on it is going to be viable.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, even I'm pretty sure Azu straight Ice Beam still beats Bastiodon in the 2 shield.
Wow.
Broken.
Yeah, broken. Confirmed. All right, let's get into some battles. Cizzlemethis is looking to continue his unbeaten run. 10-10, an equal record, undefeated battles. Here we go. And 2 replays in the bank, so this could be just a long reign for Cizzlemethis. Here we go, battle number 1. And it is Mawile versus Beedrill, so this is a real good start for Steve. Those Fire Fangs are just going to be coming in fast. He's bringing up the switch menu, anticipating that switch out from Cizzlemethis. Cizzlemethis running the X-Scissor Drill Run. Now, that's interesting because there's multiple movesets you can run on the Beedrill as well, which we did not even talk about. The X-Scissor is going to be great for your bait potential, and you can see he got that bait from the Mawile. Burns one of those shields. We get the switch out to the Azu. And now the Venusaur comes out, so obviously Venusaur's got to watch out for that Ice Beam, but if it can, then this is going to be hard for the Azu, Trotter.
Yeah, very hard for the Azu. Oh, Steve shields! That's a huge mistake. You know you can take 1 Ice Beam here, and he's down 2 shields to none now. Really
so
big
are we going to see a shield here?
Battle.
No, Sizzle not shielding.
Very nice play from Cizzlemethis. Correct play too, I'm going to say. Because now he comes out and he's got that Beedrill.
He's got 2 Venusaur counters right here.
Beedrill. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so
does he want to?
He's gonna bring out that the Beedrill, Yep, and he brings it out. We get the Sludge Bomb from Venusaur. Now, Sizzle not shielding. This is interesting. This Sludge Bomb is going to do a decent amount of damage. Don't think it's going to KO. It just survives. And now we get the switch out. That's crazy. So, Sizzle has burned the energy from the Venusaur, and now it does still get to a Frenzy Plant. So, the Marwile, the Shadow Marwile, almost managed to get the feint on the Venusaur. But it managed to get to that charge move first, and not doing enough to feint the Marwile, and now the Marwile has a bit of energy, not much HP left, so we see that Steve's got his own Marwile and the Muck. So obviously with the shadowness and the less HP, those Fire Fangs are just going to hurt way too much. And we get a switch, we get the Power Up Punch, so Steve catching the Power Up Punch. Now, that would have done a fair amount of damage.
Yeah, it would have. I actually don't think that the switch was necessary. I think he's still in a pretty positive position here, Steve. Those shields are not that useful. I think with that Marwile in the back just to chunk away. But we'll see how now shields are down. Is our champion Cizzlemethis
He's not throwing.
Pull out?
He's not throwing.
Is he getting? He got the
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness, he gets the play.
Yeah, wow. That's so crazy.
I mean,
yeah, go on.
Fire Fang down though. Steve can still one Fire Fang here and one Fire Fang on the Beedrill, and it's GG's, right? Is Beedrill so close to being dead?
Yeah, there it is. Yeah,
there we go.
Couldn't get it off, but that's crazy. Like, so that's a very difficult one to play out, that Marwile, because that Power Up Punch, very low energy, play rough a lot higher, and Fire Fang not really generating energy very fast. So it's if you want to try. The baiting game with a Marwile, it can go very wrong for you very quickly.
Yeah, definitely can. I think that no shield on the Venusaur was really where we were like, oh, this is going downhill fast for Sizzle. You just see how much damage. Frenzy Plant's just incredibly overpowered. But Steve, again, trying those big brain plays. I don't think it was necessary. I think he could have just Fire Fang down from that point. And I mean, even if Beedrill kills, like Beedrill was on 1 HP, it was 1 snarl away from dying anyway.
Right.
But I mean, that's the run's over, right? I mean, that's 10-1 now.
Not quite, Trotter, because Cizzlemethis did opt to use his first replay. So I mean, in the grand scheme of things, let the history books show that if Sizzle can, win this replay, the replayed game, then he will go down as having won 11 in a row. It will just go down as that he never lost. That game
Steve was
erased from history. So let's check this out. So okay, what changes can Sizzle make here?
I think Sizzle this time will probably throw the drill run on that Beedrill.
We're not going to try and bait.
And then potentially stay in the rest of the losing matchup.
He knows now that Steve's got that Muck, so that drill run's going to be very handy to have around against the Muck. So maybe Sizzle might want to try and protect that Beedrill a little bit more.
Yeah, and he knows the Venus is there. If he can get a reasonable, like even once the Beedrill, if he lets the Beedrill go, he's still got Marwile to take out Venusaur. He's still got Azu. If Azu can get like a big energy lead on Venusaur, it can actually win in an even shielding scenario because those Ice Beams, if they've got enough energy there, 2 Ice Beams will kill a Venusaur. So you need to land 2. And then it's just got Muck in the back. And I mean, Muck doesn't want to take a play rough.
Yeah.
It's not going to one-hit KO Shadow Marwile with any of its charge moves. They're all resisted. So I think there's a lot of play there.
Totally.
I think Sizzle can switch it around. Obviously, not a good lead though.
Yeah, so I've got to say that he's got to switch out that Beedrill immediately, knowing that the Beedrill is going to be important against the other 2/3 of his team. Like he's got to protect that Beedrill.
Sure. So what do you switch out to?
Let's go I would say probably a Zoomeril. Oh, okay. No. Yes, a Zoomeril.
Straight into Zoomer, bring your Beedrill back in, and then Beedrill is enough to take out all three.
Yeah.
Beedrill has a positive matchup against all three of those Pokemon, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no, not Mawile. Wait, Steve had Mawile as well.
Well, okay, with shields down, the drill run can take out a full Mawile.
Yeah, that's true.
So if say Sizzle switched to the Azu and then Steve counter switches to the Venusaur, that will burn Steve's shields and open up the door for Beedrill to take out that Mawile, and it's going to take out the Venusaur first, obviously.
Look, I agree. As entertaining as we think we may be, I think people want to watch this battle and see what actually happens.
Here we go. Battle number 1 redone. And we have... Whoa, it's the Mawile versus the Beedrill. Bit of a late entry there from Steve. So, bringing up that switch window again, expecting the switch, and Sizzle, not paying attention to our advice, Trotter, is just building up straight to that drill on. Now, if this goes through, this will be huge. Is it going to go? No, Steve shields. So, that is energy burned and half the Beedrill gone. Trotter.
Right. Yeah, and so that was exactly what I actually wanted Sizzle to do. So he's at a shield advantage here, and he can get these ice beams going. But in comes, oh wow!
Oh, Sizzle not shielding.
Not shielding, keeping that advantage because he knows he will just survive this and still get an ice beam off.
And so this could potentially use that second shield again. Steve could be down 2 shields to none. No, opts to tank it. So now we're just going to get Vine Whipped it's going to Vine Whip that Azu down. Azu goes down, out comes whichever one this is going to be. This is going to hurt the Venusaur.
Yeah, you got to come in. It's going to KO it. Really nice, Steve, keeping that shield this time around. Last matchup, he used it and goes straight in for that Frenzy Plant. And gets the shield. So knowing Beedrill's got a reasonably good matchup here in the back, Sizzle wants to keep this Beedrill alive. And here we go. What's coming out? Marwile? It's got to be that Marwile.
It's got to be the Marwile, yeah. And it's got a shield to hide behind as well. So Cizzlemethis has got to... It's not going to have time to bait. Oh, bringing out the Muck. Interesting move. Okay, so Sizzle is going straight for that drill run. Like I was saying, like even, despite that Marwile not coming in, it's still not going to have time to bait. And that drill run goes through, takes out most of that Muck. And now we get the Insta Switch. And now we have a Marwile Fang Off. The Power Up Punch coming through from Steve. And so this is going to raise its attack one stage, which will bring it about even on attack. And gets another Power Up Punch through. Is this going to KO? This will do a lot.
This will come really close, to be honest. The Shadow plus the extra Powered Up Punch. If this...
Nah, it doesn't do it. No. False alarm. Okay. We get the Power Up Punch. Ooh, what's going to happen here? Yeah.
Has to shield it. Needs to somehow... He's got to throw straight away or he's going to get Fire Fang down. Steve, recognizes that. And, I think this is too much. I don't think he's going to get to another Dark Pulse to take out this Beedrill. Beedrill should be able to poison jab down.
Yeah, should be able to poison jab down.
But you never know.
Let's go. Oh, it gets there and Cizzlemethis saves it. Sizzle is still the man.
I can't believe it. Why didn't Steve bring out the Barwell to take out the Beedrill? That was just... Can you tell me why? Because I'm just so unsure of myself now.
Maybe a miscalculation of energy. Maybe was expecting the charge move to come out straight away. So wanted the Muck to tank it because thought that the Marwile had a better matchup. And wanted to protect that Marwile a little more. That's my guess.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, all the Muck's charge moves are going to be resisted by the Marwile. So, maybe. But Shadow Marwile's so squishy. I don't think it really matters. It's going to shield anything no matter what, right?
Yeah, so Cizzlemethis managing to turn that one around and is now the record holder for most straight battle wins with 11 in a row undefeated. That is an amazing achievement. Still, has not reached the record for most all-time, set wins. That's still held by our original champion, Necro 5-1. Although, Sizzle, very much threatening.
Yeah, very close to that win. And man, I can't wait to see how if they change up teams. So Steve, bringing that Venusaur as that hard Azu counter, it's just not quite played out that way, right? With the, those ice beams are very threatening to his Venusaur.
So that's probably actually a big disadvantage for Steve, is that he doesn't have a real hard Azu counter. He's got the Muck, the Tox, and the Venusaur that can beat the Azu, and often quite comfortably, but then none of them are... Yeah, they can all be, reversed.
And they need to be in that lead. Like, they need lead, even energy, and then, yes, they do very well. But when it's not quite that situation, it's a little bit harder.
Those matchups. So we're thinking Steve might be... we keep praising Cizzlemethis for his team composition. I think he might have won that battle again.
I mean...
We'll find out.
Oh, yeah, let's see.
Let's see. Let's get into it. Battle number 2. Officially 2. Here we go. And we have Azu versus Marwa. This, much better for Cizzlemethis. So, we get the straight switch out from Steve. Steve is not mucking around. And we get... Steve wants a mirror match. Sizzle does not want any of that. So, bringing out that Beedrill. Now, Sludge Bomb on this thing would make this just an absolute shoo-in. But, obviously, those drill runs and X-Scissors not doing as much damage. It's still going to win, but it's not going to be as emphatic a win. It's still going to pressure that Beedrill. So, you can see it's already used one shield. Now, this drill run comes out. And it's going to take it down into the yellow. Poison Jab going to keep on going. Now, are we going to see a second shield from Sizzle? Because that'll be a tough situation to come back from. The Azu just gets to that Ice Beam first. This won't KO. Cizzlemethis knows that. And can probably Poison Jab down. No, goes straight for the X-Scissor. That's probably the safer move. Steve opting not to shield. The X-Scissor doesn't quite take it out, so it'll take 1 or 2 more Poison Jabs. Bit of lag, and there it is.
Yeah, I think Steve would have liked that to KO, because he wants to get a little bit more energy. This Fire Fang is going to be 1, maybe 2 Fire Fangs to put KOs, yeah. So it's not that much energy on the Marwa. Oh, this is just a rough spot. This is rough.
Yeah, so Azu's coming out, and Steve's going to try and switch it into that Venusaur, but then what are we going to see? We're going to see that Marwa. And look at this. Cizzlemethis is just going to waltz home that Frenzy Plant. Look, I don't even think a Frenzy Plant is going to KO this Shadow Marwa. As low as this Pokemon's defense is, Cizzlemethis not going to find out. He's just using that shield. He's now down 2 shields to nothing, but I don't think that's going to matter, Trotter, because this Power Punch is going to make those Fire Fangs hurt even more. Steve... using that shield just because he's got him there, like, oh, well, I guess may as well. Can we get the feint down? Gets the feint!
Wow, that was close. He was so close to that extra Frenzy Plant, and that may have been enough to win this particular match, but that Azu in the back is just going to be... I don't say, it can't be beaten by this Marwa. And I mean, look at the health. The health's so low, it's not going to matter, so... Oh, just a hard lead. Sizzle, after match 1, comes back going, nah, I'm going to take this lead matchup, and I'm going to dominate the rest of the match from there and not give an inch to let you get back in this fight. So, I mean, Sizzle. I'm gonna say it now. Cizzlemethis is the Australian Speediest Chief. He's the nicest guy to talk to. Genuinely lovely.
He is a great guy.
Fiend when it comes to battles. Like, won't give an inch. Will take a mile if you let him have it.
Yeah, absolutely. Totally agree with that analogy.
Oh, all right. So Steve needs to switch things up.
Yeah, he's on the verge of being, out of straight sets. So yeah, that's just the interesting thing about such a rock paper scissors meta, and this is one of the most rock paper scissors meta that I've ever seen. The way those work is that if you've got a paper, a scissor, and a rock, and then you manage to take out their paper, suddenly your rock goes unchecked for the rest of the battle. So it's
good old rock, always
wins. Always wins. So it's, I think with these metas, the battle's won kind of like a third of the way through the battle. And then it's all just kind of chest out from there.
Yeah, and I think one difference we saw in that battle is Steve actually tried to switch to his Venusaur twice, and his switches didn't go off.
Which makes it a lot harder.
That makes it a lot harder. I mean, the Azu was at an Ice Beam and one extra bubble before he could even get his Venusaur in there. And I think by that point, he just committed to taking the Venusaur. Things happen, right?
All right,
QBL format.
Yeah, let's see if Cizzlemethis can complete the sweep. Well, I mean, it's not a full sweep. It's you know what I mean. Let's check out battle number 3. Here we go. Mawile versus Beedrill. Ouch.
We're
Steve,
back here.
Yeah, we are back in this position once again. I've got a little panic attack, wondering if I haven't just repeated like the same video from battle number 1. Looks like he is staying in and throwing that drill run again. And let's see. Oh, hang on. Oh, yeah. I thought Steve wasn't going to use that shield there. If that drill run goes through, that's going to make a huge difference. And that's what I'm talking about, taking out the paper and some of that allowing Rock to to take over. Now we've got the Azu mirror match. Now, one of them is shiny, so it's going to be doing more damage, right, Trotter?
Well, it is, but not because it's shiny, but purely because he's actually got the play rough. But he's down a shield, though. So that is a very significant advantage. And it also depends where those play roughs line up in terms of the play rough versus the hydro pump. Because if the hydro pump lines up in an even manner, there's potential that Sizzle actually may not even need to shield any of these and can still win this matchup. Even though it's got the worst moveset.
Alright, so...
It's harsh, it doesn't seem right, but it does happen.
Alright, so is that the way you see this battle going right now?
No. I just think Sizzle's just not going to shield anything, and he's happy to let his Azu go down, but keep the shield advantage. And Steve doesn't want to waste the shield either, because he's going to be even more behind. So it comes in, does someone bait here? That's all.
Yeah, just going straight for that Ice Beam, which is fair enough. That's going to KO from here.
No, it won't.
Oh, an Ice Beam's going to KO.
No, it's a sliver. Oh, it is a KO. No way.
That thing was so low. So now this is going to be able to poison jab before it can get to another charge move, and that's going to be very handy for Sizzle. So it's got energy now, throwing the drill run, but the power up punch coming first. Now, if Sizzle holds his nerve, which he is, that power up punch is not going to faint. It's a double resisted move. So now throwing that drill run. Are we going to get that shield from Steve?
Ooh, got it. He's got a shield.
He's got a shield. Oh man, he's making us sweat. And now this is going to be Fire Fang down. Oh no, switch. Here it is, Fire Fang matchup. Power Up Punch comes in. We get the shield from Cizzlemethis, using that shield. Interesting. And so now...
That is very interesting, because Toxicroak's in the back. Coming in hot with those
now
counters.
He did not expect that. So he's going to be throwing that Power Up Punch. Now, it's not going to matter that Steve doesn't have shields. This is going to do not that much damage. The Fire Fang's not going to be enough to save it. Steve is going to go for the farm down. He's going for the farm down. Gets it. Counters it down.
Can he count it down? Yeah, definitely count it down from here. Oh, you know, he can get to 2 mud bombs. He should make the second mud bomb as well. Oh, and Sizzle has decided to raise that white flag. He is valuable. Here we go, Toxicroak. Wow, Toxicroak getting the job done. Once that Azu's down, actually, that's something we haven't looked at here, Steve. Once that Azu is down, Toxicroak has some pretty positive matchups with everything else in the back. I mean, obviously not the Haunter in Galvantula. Like, shields on the Haunter side and fast moves are going to stack up. But
but it definitely has play against a lot of that team.
Bomb's going to threaten Haunter a lot too. It's that poison typing. We all forget about that poison typing on Haunter.
So Sizzle had 2 replays coming into this. Has used 1.
No, he doesn't, does he?
He does. He's redone this battle. He's used both of his replays now. He's burned them both. He's used both of the weapons in his arsenal.
Oh wow! I mean, if he can turn this one around, and I think this match has potential to turn around again, knowing that there's now Toxicroak in the background.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge advantage for him.
yeah, enormous. And I actually see Sizzle playing this out the same way, throwing that drill run, getting that shield advantage, switching. But we'll see what he switches into. Is he going to switch into that Azu? He might switch into that Shadow Mawile to get a lead.
Let's find out. Battle number... That didn't work. I'll just have to do this manually. Yeah, for, like battle 43. I don't know. I did have hotkeys worked out for this, but they aren't working. So I'm still gonna have to do this manually. Professional. Right. Now it's out of sync. Alright, so I'm just going to hide that one. There we go. So, we get that same lead and still doing the same thing. Working up to that drill run. Firing that off. Wants to burn that shield. Are we going to get the shield? Now, we aren't going to know whether Steve shields it. Wow! That drill run comes through. Takes out the paper. And now that Toxicroak is gonna have to do a ton of work. Just going straight for that drill run. Are we gonna see the shield from Cizzlemethis? Or is he gonna... Yeah, okay, he does. So now he's gonna be throwing his own drill run. And this is gonna place pressure on that Toxicroak. Now you'd think Steve would want a shield because he's already very much behind now. He does not want to be hit so hard by this Toxicroak. Wow! Oh my goodness, alright. It was all up to you, Azu.
Oh my goodness, sorry, I'm just speechless. Steve not shielding moves that are 100% KOs.
Wow.
Like he knew that was gonna, like, he was up a shield. He could have kept even shields and still had positivity. Now, I can't see it coming back from here. There's no, surely there's no coming back from here, right?
So, yeah, I do think it was a mistake to leave that second one because, okay, now we've got one mile in. So, that Beedrill was on low health. It was kind of pressed for time. It wasn't long for this world. So, that it was going to be more likely that Sizzle was going to go straight for another drill run. If he wanted to bait in that moment, then he would have had to spend a shield to do so. So... it was more likely that he was going to throw another drill run there.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's I hate to be negative on someone. That's a big misread from Steve. And it's actually cost him this match again.
Yeah.
He had the lead. He had everything in his favor. Just that awareness of energy really being a bit of a struggle. And Sizzle's just going to bubble down and take this one out and go... I mean, literally, it's 3-2, but it's 3-0 on paper because of these replays.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if he goes 5... I just have one question.
Yeah.
If Sizzle goes 5-0, even though he lost 2 battles from the replays, he still gets another replay, correct?
He does. Yeah, so he has burned his 2 replays, so luckily it's not... Like, if he'd... come out of this with 3 replays in hand, then that would be like that would start scaring people off from competing because they're going to be like, well, I have to beat this guy 8 times, but or yeah, it would be 8, no, 6, but that is kind of something that can help challengers breathe a bit easier. Is the fact that he is walking out of this with just the 1 replay. If he even does get the sweep, he might lose battle 4, might lose battle 5, and you can see. He has lost 2 battles against Steve, so it is perfectly likely that he could lose battle 4 or 5.
Yeah, 100%. And the thing about this is, this shows how high of a level Sizzle is, because he's lost the lead twice on those replays that he's used, and has been able to flip the matchup. So really has a clear understanding of the Pokemon in the matches and how he can go about his work to actually get a positive result in the end. Which puts pressure on your opponent and means they make mistakes.
Yep.
So
and that's what we saw.
This is what we're seeing, and I mean really just oh man, I'm like in awe of Sizzle Me right now. like we all know how hard it is to come back from a lost lead. Even if you know it's there and you know what you want to do and you know all the Pokemon, it's still hard to come back because the other person knows as much information as you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
But he did it. He did it not once, but twice.
Mm-hmm.
Flip.
And
that's
the
crazy.
second one in very emphatic fashion.
Oh, oofs in the chat.
All right, let's check out battle number 4. Let's see if he can complete the sweep and come out of this with another replay in his pocket and go 15-0. That is
15-2.
a crazy.
I'm calling it 15-2.
Oh, you're wrong.
Asterisks.
Here we go, battle 4. We have we have a change up. Look at this. Cizzle and Steve both changing it up, and Steve is very much the victor. Cizzle coming straight out of that, bringing out the Beedrill, and now here's that Firefang Mawile. Alright, surely Steve is bringing this one home. Okay, Steve's not taking chances now. Shielding that X-Scissor. So that successful bait from Cizzlemethis. Cizzlemethis kind of correctly reading that Steve would be a bit trigger shy there. So now Cizzle is using a shield himself, so thinks he can get to that drill run and either feint or get another shield from Steve. And what are we going to see? Got a shield, you reckon? And does get the shield. Always waits till the end, though. That is just giving me heart palpitations, mate.
Oh, mate, you and me both, and I work in that field. So here we go. Obstagoon. So no Azu this time for Cizzle. And I mean, you've got to come up with the Obstagoon here. Those counters will stack up. No, it goes for the Haunter.
Yeah, I don't mind that
option. Because these Firefangs will add up. Haunter is not a bulky Pokemon. Obviously, he's going to keep that shield in the back. Does not want to lose out on that. And Steve, no, don't switch. Oh, does switch into the Muck to get out the Obstagoon.
Now the Obstagoon has caught that Dark Pulse. Very good play. Yeah, so obviously he knew the Muck was in the back, so he didn't want that Haunter to be matched up against the Muck. So he was definitely bringing out that Haunter to coming in against the Mawile to avoid it going in against the Muck later on.
Yeah, but I mean, Azu has a reasonable matchup against both of those things in the back, so I think Steve would have been fine to let it go down. I don't think Sizzle's seen the Azu yet. Steve has Azu and Mawile.
Yeah. Sizzle hasn't seen the Azu from Steve's side yet, so he doesn't know that he's got Sizzle in the back. So we are going for a gunk shot here. This is gonna hurt. This very nearly takes it out, and the Muck now goes down. So you would think that the Azu's coming out now. It does. Now, if Cizzlemethis can get to a gunk shot, this will hurt very badly. Going straight for the Ice Beam. Is that the right move, Trotter?
It's tight because I was watching that switch timer more than I was watching anything else there, and it was so close. Ooh. And he's just on a fraction of health. Oh, wow. He gets the swap. Okay, so sacrificing this Mawile, even if this Night Slash doesn't KO, it's going to be like one counter. And now we get the switch to the Haunter. Oh, how is this going to end up? I'm not sure. Because that Haunter is loaded up with energy. It's going to fire that Shadow Ball. And if it can get to a Shadow Ball, Shadow Punch, I'm pretty sure
Shadow Punch.
Punch first. Oh, we've lost Steve.
Oh, we've lost him.
He's back. He's back. No, we're losing
Oh, wow.
him.
This is... Okay, just concentrate on Sizzles. This is too much going on.
Oh, wow. This Shadow Ball is going to come so close to KOing here.
It does
and
KO.
Does.
No! We had one more Shadow Claw, so...
Whoa.
Wow. Cizzlemethis. Oh, man, I don't even know what happened there. There was just so much going on that I just lost track of what was happening. So I think, yeah, I stand by that comment that bringing out the Haunter against the Mawile was the better move because that was the one that ended up getting that KO at the end.
Yeah, and realistically, I thought that it was going to be okay for Steve to bring out the Azu against the Obstagoon, but he had no shields. Mm-hmm. So he did need to be careful, and he really needed to keep that Muck on that Haunter. Because Azumarill can actually eat one gunk shot and not die. It's very close to being dead, but it can actually eat one. So
from the Obstagoon.
Yeah, whereas Mawile, not Mawile. and Alolan Muck can quite comfortably tank Shadow Balls and Shadow Punches till the cows come home.
All right, let's get on to battle number 5. We've gone. This has been a long episode.
This is a beastie episode.
Yeah. All right. So let's just go straight into number 5. Let's see if Sizzle can complete his 3rd sweep in a row. This is ridiculous scenes. We have. Okay. Well, we've seen this before. A bunch of times. Steve leading that lead, the Marwell against the Beedrill, and right now Steve's just not comfortable because he's just lost from this position a bunch of times by now. Steve going for the power-up punch. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, I think that Beedrill was up to a drill run and did not fire. Now it has fired, and Steve is opting to shield, not going to make that same mistake again. I think you can play this battle out 700 times, and Steve is going to shield every single time from that point because he's just been so scarred. So now Cizzlemethis comes out with. Oh no, I think it was. Which one switched first? Was it Steve or Sizzle?
Sizzle switched first. So as soon as Sizzle's taken a shield, he switched into his Azumarill every time.
Yeah.
Knowing well in the fact that whatever comes in, Azu's going to have a pretty good matchup against anything with a shield advantage. So it's almost like this is like a super deliberate strat that Sizzle's been running. And to be honest, it's probably a strat I'm going to think about running myself too now when it comes to GBL. You know, get a shield, because most things are going to want to shield a drill run from Beedrill. Even, you know, like that Shadow Marwell or Marwell is. And yeah, it's just giving his Azu just like every chance in the world of just coming out quite solid and positive against their opponent. Less so, obviously, with the Hydro Pump against another Azu. It's probably one of the worst counters that they could come up against. But you'll see, we've seen it a few times now.
Steve tried to switch out to catch that last move, but not quite getting it, so has to burn that shield.
Oh, he doesn't. It's just an Ice Beam bait. This was not quite KO range.
Okay, so building up a bit more energy, now throwing that Ice Beam, so that's going to KO.
I agree with you this time.
Yeah. So Cizzlemethis will be able to come back out with the Beedrill, or maybe get some energy up on that Haunter, because now with shields down on Steve's side, that Haunter's going to be really dangerous.
Yeah.
So, it does bring out the Beedrill though, so Poison Jab's down. Manages to get off an Ice Beam. So you'd think Cizzlemethis, wow, letting that go. So wanting to keep the shields on the Haunter. Cizzlemethis, you are a madman.
Crazy in the coconut, this guy. And there's no muck in the back. If there was that muck in the back, there's like the slimmest of chances Steve can pull this off, just with the Haunter. But
okay,
now,
so that Fire Fang, just coming through, but that Shadow Ball is going to come in. Oh, okay, we are switching in, and, I mean, doesn't matter. That Shadow Ball is going to go on whatever it wants. That Shadow Ball is going to come through. Going to one-shot the Tox? Yep, one-shots that. And it's got a bit of energy spare as well. Throwing the power-up punch. Getting that second shield just for the sake of it. Now, is there a chance that the Fire Fang beats it down before it can get to another Shadow Ball?
I'm going to say I hope so, but Shadow Punch is going to be enough.
Yeah. Shadow Punch finishes the job.
Wow. So hopefully we've recorded this. I'm going to go make a video for GBL Halloween Cup, how to win using Beedrill, Azu, and whatever the hell else you want. Because it's literally, we've seen it from a masterclass here from Sizzle. Everyone get out your pen and paper, get a shield, switch to the Azu, and then just take it out from there. Seems to be a very, very dominant strategy. And it's deliberate. This is 100% deliberate from Sizzle. He did this in the first battle. He did it in the 3rd and 5th. And maybe even the 4th. I'm not sure. But very deliberate. Getting that shield and switching out.
Yep, absolutely. So, I mean, with that, Sizzle becomes the most successful competitor ever to step into the ring. We are... in a long storied history of 13 episodes, no one has ever done as well as Cizzlemethis has done. 3 set wins in a row, none of them having lost a single battle. That is, I mean, who can take this man down? Who's going to be the hero?
I don't know. Are you going to stack up to the plate, Fish?
Yeah, I mean, if I could battle, sure.
But I mean, still, Still, hashtag asterisk 2 wins to Steve, my boy, right?
Yeah, but like, yeah. Once future civilizations kind of dig this up out of the rubble, they're gonna watch this and be like, oh yeah, Sizzle didn't lose a game.
So time travel's a thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Recounts all previous events. All right.
If you want to be the one to try and take on the champion that is Cizzlemethis, don't be too scared. Everyone is fallible. I know it doesn't seem like it, but Sizzle can be beaten. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Steve did draw blood from him. Obviously, those wounds healed up very quickly, but he is fallible. So if you want to be the one to try and take his mantle off him, take on the champ, go for that glory. We have a link in the description. It is to the Arena Australis Discord server. It's a Discord server dedicated to PvP in Australia and New Zealand. Go to join a lobby and click on the react for the ring. We're going to put a call out every week saying, hey, here's the meta, who wants to participate, and then we'll pick one of those people at random. Can't wait to see who we get next week.
Look forward to it, guys. See you there. Bye-bye.